It's not a mistake if there's good pussy involved. Howdy ho, and welcome back to Whole Chat, a girl love and boy love podcast that loves gay shenanigans. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me is someone who loves to be a silly goose, Keelz.
Hi. I was a silly goose just 2 minutes ago.
I'm not lying, you love to be a silly goose.
Sure
Little
do.
bastard.
I don't think my wife loves it when I'm a silly goose.
It's just, you ever have someone close to you in your life that has rampant ADHD and it just suddenly goes like to 1,000% for no reason? You love them, but you're also like, I'm gonna shove an Adderall down your throat.
Yeah, behind the scenes, folks, in order so I can be a good little host, I have a clicky phone so that I can tap it and not, like, bother my wife the whole time or get off to topic. Because I do get off topic, but not that much, I think.
This is Keelz, like, locked in focused.
I'm so locked in. Tap, 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 tap.
I mean, I'm sure plenty of y'all get it. Like, you need a fidget or something like that. I don't fidget because I have stuff to read. But I think if our places were swapped, I would absolutely be fidgeting like crazy.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't need to fidget often, but I told you I was having a bad ADHD today.
This is what I mean. Like, if anybody can source me some Adderall, I'll just, like, crush it up in her applesauce.
I can get my own Adderall. I just have to actually go take...
There's too many steps.
I know.
And you have executive dysfunction. So what if we just have somebody send us some Adderall in the mail, by the USPS, come rain or shine or whatever, they will send it to us and then crush it up in your applesauce. You'll have a great day.
I don't think you're gonna do that.
Yeah, if somebody snitches about it. So, other than ADHD crisis, I am tired and I am sick.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly.
She's sick as hell. What? Kickflip, no scope. Grind. I'll stop.
You're making it sound way better than it is. I'm just regular sick,
yeah,
not cool
you're
sick.
Just feeling real bad.
Yeah, so this is all going on. I still just have stuff going on constantly. You'd think I'd feel better from surgery. JK, kind of, but not really. So, I have needed a break from lesbians trying to kill each other or someone else.
Yeah.
And so I read something to buoy my spirits.
Yeah, it's been a rough woman's month, being like, let's do woman's love, and it's all lesbians trying to kill each other.
It's all just... Or somebody trying to choke a lesbian out. It's like, we don't have to do this all the time.
I mean, sometimes I feel it's like that, like when you're just like, man, I want a strong female character, and then you get a strong female character who's gonna kill her husband, or kill a college professor, or just kill someone, and you're like, could I just, like, have a strong female lead order a coffee? Could she order a coffee by herself and then come home and destroy a wasp nest? That's all I want.
It's like that Stanzi Potenza video where she was like, it's Women's Month and we're gonna put the her back in murder or something like that.
Yeah.
It feels like that. Like everything just had to be more aggressive. And I didn't want to do that the whole month.
Yeah.
But it took me a stupidly long time to find something that was not going in that direction. An uncomfortably long amount of time.
No, I know you were suffering over there. And, like, I have stuff to recommend, but then it would always be like, oh, but there's a lot of murder in it.
Uh-huh.
Because surprisingly, not so surprisingly, in serial killer stuff, when there's lesbianism, there's a lot of murder.
Oh,
but
really?
They do have some great, strong female leads. Because final girls are a thing.
Wow, okay. Anyway, today I want to chat about I Can't Believe I Slept With You by Miyahara Miyako, a yuri comic about two women living together and falling in love under a weird circumstance. So the American title is I Can't Believe I Slept With You, but the Japanese title translates to Even If It Was Just Once, I Regret It.
Damn.
So I understand why in English they changed it, because I don't think it sounds as harsh in Japanese to a Japanese speaker, but in English that sounds crazy.
That does sound crazy, because isn't it supposed to be a story about them getting together?
Yeah, it's way chiller. It's way chiller. than that title would suggest.
Yeah, I would have not, like, picked that book up if that was the title.
Exactly. So they localized the hell out of it for good reason. But yeah, so intense sounding title aside, this is actually very chill and should be an enjoyable enough read. And I'm excited to talk about it, so let's dig in.
Yay!
Let's end Yuri month with a whisper, I guess.
Oh. I mean, is there a bang in it?
There is a bang in it.
So we can say it ends with a bang!
But it's just not as intense as the other stuff we've done this month, so.
Yeah, it's not revenge, murder, pianos, death.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Our story begins with peak intensity. A face-off between our main character, Koduka, and her landlady. Let's set the scene. Koduka, cowering and drunk, curled up in her apartment with her empty bank ledger at her side.
Cowering and drunk. That's a phrase I love.
The landlady, long-haired and nonplussed, politely knocking at Koduka's door, asking for rent.
I like that she's at least polite, though.
Yeah. Koduka breaks out into a sweat, but remains silent, as there is no rent to be had. After a beat, the landlady proposes a compromise. If Koduka does her a favor, they can work something out. In response, Koduka bursts forth from the apartment, agreeing to do whatever she wants. Like, comes out, like, on her hands and knees, like, I'll do it, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. And she's, like, sweating and shit-faced and just like, I'll do whatever. She looks very desperate. Well, that's great. The landlady politely asks for sex.
Hey, I'm not gonna judge. Times are hard. Sometimes you do sex things to pay bills, and that's okay.
True. But I love the way specifically the landlady says, like, can you please have sex with me? It's a polite request. It's not a, like, oh, we'll do it. It's like, hey, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I mean, like, it helps when you're polite about it. Polite and awkward.
Yeah.
Because if it's like, I'll make that rent go away if you sleep with me, then there's a whole problem there.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just like a polite, like, would you maybe sleep with me?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'd say yes, but, like, I'd feel better about it a little bit.
Yeah, like, they earnestly maybe want to have sex with me, but, like, not be a creep about it. Even though it's still maybe not the best idea. It's still not great.
Yeah, it's still not great, Tim. But,
yeah.
you know.
But, yeah. You know, you do what you can. But
yeah.
this is the big scene of, like, then please have sex with me.
Goodness. Is the landlord younger than her?
Oh, you never know. You never know, Tim.
Because honestly, she looks like a little baby.
You never know, Tim.
Am I gonna know later?
Yeah, you will.
Okay.
Pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Koduka is awoken with a jolt the next morning as she falls out of bed, naked except for an open pajama top. She ponders why she's dressed like this for a moment before turning her attention back to the bed. And the girl that's in it. She tentatively peeks over the edge of the bed to find that, yeah, there's a naked young lady in there. As Koduka examines her, the girl's eyes snap open, immediately focusing on Koduka's. Koduka panics and shouts, then hastily looks for her glasses. You know, because to get a better feel of the situation, you have to have your glasses on. Even if you can see, the glasses just help you, like, lock in.
I'm reminded of Velma, who became completely useless without her glasses. Jenkins, I'm so smart I could build a nuke. Take her glasses. My glasses!
Yeah. That's giving that vibe. The landlady looks nonplussed as she slides out of the bed and gets dressed. Landlady idly asks if Koduka remembers anything, which does nothing to ease Koduka's panic.
Oh, she doesn't remember anything?
No, she doesn't remember shit.
That's kind of impressive.
She can remember every bit of how she got to this point, except for whatever they did last night.
Girl?
Yeah, so she remembers that she quit her job months ago and has been living off her savings since then. However, since she's been on a massive bender since her departure, said savings are depleted and she hasn't made rent in 3 months. Girl's lucky she's not getting evicted.
Yeah, why? Why have you not... Well, how bad was her leaving her job that she's been on a bender for that long?
Great question. The best question. The most accurate question.
Well, because, like, okay, this is a trope in isekai.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, the character was, like, they were really talented, but they were a pushover or something was in their way.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they, like, get drunk for, like, months. They use their savings to get drunk for months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually die. And whoops, isekai. And then they're like, cool, I lived a shitty life. I'm not doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being a pushover again. I'm not letting this get in my way again. So that's kind of a common trope besides, truck hunt. That's why it's just like, oh, I see. It feels like, to me, that this girl is like, I'm so miserable, I'm gonna try isekaiing myself.
I don't think it's an isekai situation.
Mm-hmm.
She's just had a bad...
None of the isekai girls are trying to do it anyways. And it just feels like the trope was about to happen.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Lesbianism interrupted.
You know what? Yeah, if you feel like your world is going to shit, lesbianism will fix it. You don't need to be isekai'd. You just need to kiss a girl.
Lesbianism will save the day.
Truthfully. So, Koduka tries hard to remember the night before. There's a huge blank spot. She can, however, use context clues and knows there had to be fucking. But with a woman?
How you fuck a woman?
Pretty much. She is sitting there, like, running through her head, like, okay, I did it, but how? But how? How? Just no idea.
I'm trying to feel like if I should judge her for not having some idea, but I also don't know. Like, I don't know if while drunk or while not knowing I was queer, if I was like, sex equals how with woman?
The amount of times I've heard from men and women that they didn't know how gay people had sex is, like, an insane amount. Like, a lot of people have asked me, like, well, what do you do? Blah, blah. Especially straight women have asked, like, well, what do you do if there's no penis? How do you have sex? And I'm like, what do you do normally to get yourself off? Just do that with her. And it's just, they don't consider it. So it's not uncommon. And even a lot of dudes will be like, oh, how do dudes do it? Like, well, we do it in the butt. And they're like, well, you do it in the butt? It's like, yeah, or other stuff. And they're like, but that's crazy. And it's like, really? That's revolution? Even dudes who watch porn will not think, I've seen dudes do women in the butt, and they won't assume that men will do it. They just, they have, like, this blank spot where that is.
Yeah, like, it's just, like, I've been queer for so long. Over half my life at this point. All of my life, technically. I, for sure, had it figured out, like, half my life ago. So it's just been so long since I thought of, like, how do sex with women, you know? So I'm just like, oh, wow, is that something that popped up in my head?
Yeah, some straight people are not like this. But yeah, so she has no idea how the fuck this is working. And she tells the landlady she doesn't remember anything. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I like dudes, So, like, I wouldn't know how to do any of that. And the landlady's like, well, you said you do whatever I asked. And so you did consent to everything. And she just seems kind of intense about it. But I'm also like, I would be freaked out the next 42 if somebody was kind of panicking in front of me. And it's like, I asked you. I did ask you. I promise I asked you.
Girl, you crazy if you didn't think she was drunk. Just saying.
To be fair, there's a reason why she didn't in this case. Where she was not 100% thinking that she was drunk in this case.
Because she's underage.
That's part of it, for sure.
I knew it. Girl.
Not underage in the way that you're thinking underage in a different way.
Like, that's fine. I didn't think she wasn't an adult. But looking at her, I'm like, you're not like a grown woman, though. You're like a woman at a bar I would see and be like, did you sneak in, or are you fresh?
Right. Right.
That's what she legit looks like that compared to the other woman, who doesn't look old, but I'm like, she's 26 at least.
Yeah, she looks like she's had a job.
Yeah, she's had a job. She's worked a life. This landlord lady, how are you a landlord? That was my thought when I saw her. So
many good questions that you have that we will work through.
Look at how attentive I am when my ADHD is up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She's locked in. So, the landlord then asks if Koduka regrets it. Yeah, absolutely, of course. You can hear the Minecraft oof noise in the distance.
Oof.
Still, the landlady is a woman of her word, and she did offer to help out with the rent situation. She affixes a calendar-shaped piece of paper to the fridge, titled Rent Reduction Agreement. Doing the math, Koduka owns 210,000 yen worth of rent. On the paper, there are 21 numbered squares. So the deal is, for every favor Koduka does for the landlady, 1 square will be marked off, along with 10,000 yen of her debt. No limit on how many favors can be completed per day, just as long as they're completed within like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a time limit to this a little bit, but it's vague. But as long as 21 favors get done, cool.
Look, if a woman showed up and was like, I'll pay your rent if you have sex with me and do this, this, and this, easy.
Right. We're built different, though.
Easy.
I agree. But we're built different. Other people have
Limits.
a different threshold for what they're willing to do.
Yeah.
Not me.
To be fair, though I'm bisexual, I'd be more nervous about sleeping with a man.
Yeah, sure.
Because, like, women, we get each other. It's like a high five and a handshake down there, you know? Men have this, like, thrusting piston that they can accidentally hurt you with, even when they're trying not to. Because sometimes they're just too hard.
Okay, caveat. If the landlady had, like, 3-inch nails...
No!
Okay. If nails are involved, I would say no.
Yeah.
If penis involved, we'll see. I don't have a kit and caboodle anymore, so I don't care as much. But, like, there's a... I would still be willing to sleep with someone to get my rent paid if we're both cool about it.
Yeah,
if there's some weird coercion to it, no.
If you're in a temporary shitstorm and in need, fuck it. I get it.
Yeah.
Use all your assets.
Do whatever you need to do, and don't be ashamed of yourself for having to do it. Because we're all out here trying to live.
And also, if you realize I'm not a person who can do this, that answer is also okay.
Yeah.
Because there's like a lot of people who are like, okay, I'll go in and I'll do this. And then they feel bad that they can't. And I'm like, no, man, we all got different limits.
No, in fact, instead, just kill your landlord.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. But no, but like seriously, I've read things where women were like, if I had slept with my landlord, I would have gotten month's rent.
No,
and I'm like, hey girl, that's crazy. In a real world, if the landlord asked for sex for rent, that's crazy. If you felt comfortable doing it, go off. If you don't, don't. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But so, to be fair, the landlady was not asking for sex for all of these. She had other plans.
That's great.
Because let's be clear, when she first came to the door, she was like, hey, can we work something out? Can you do a favor for me? Then it escalated to this. So there may be a communication issue in here somewhere as well. But
yeah, someone was drunk.
But somebody was shit-faced, yeah. So this all seems easy enough. But Koduka has to ask just what she means by favor. Homegirl legit comes in swinging, saying that 21 rounds of sex would suffice if Koduka's interested. But she doesn't like, if you want to kind of way. Koduka's like, I'm never doing that again. And the landlady looks disappointed and says, but you got really into it last night. You must be a little gay.
Honestly, 21 rounds of sex, that sounds fun. That's that's a weekend night, baby. Let's go. You can censor that.
Just a weekend. Never mind. It's fine. Fine. Still, this is a pretty sweet deal. But it doesn't account for Koduka's continued lack of funds during the next month. Miss Landlady has a fix for that too. She can just rent out her place and live with Koduka until they're square. Sharing a room with a cute young lady and not having to pay rent sounds like a dream. But it's a bit too much too fast for Koduka. And I have in parentheses foolish, because I do believe she's foolish. I would live with some random cute woman.
Oh my
gosh. To not pay rent also. All these things are non-issues for me.
I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh. And there's actually a voice screaming in my head, remember the cereal bowl. Because you lived with cute young women, and they hid half-empty cereal bowls around the kitchen on the floor.
Let's clarify. They were not that cute.
They were a little cute.
No. This is you saw her.
Yeah.
She's a very cute young woman. These were just like, I'm gonna be a bitch. They're average white woman, okay? So it's not that deep. There could have been better. These women didn't know how to take care of themselves. And we'll address even more why living with the landlady is actually a good idea to counter your point.
True, but I mean, like, I would live with the landlady. Like, I would live with this landlady, but I'm also thinking, but I've been fooled by a pretty face before.
Yeah, no. This is very different. But Koduka can't even fathom where they'd sleep when she only has one bed. She's just like, what? If we only have one bed, like, I guess you could sleep on top of me, is the thing that she actually says. To a lesbian.
This lesbian's having a great time.
Well, the landlady's not going to force her or anything, so she makes a move to leave, saying she'll wait patiently for Koduka's overdue payments. Koduka stops her by grabbing a lock of the landlady's hair and begs her not to go. Like, please, I'm so sorry. We can
Like,
make this work.
Was she gonna kick her out if she didn't?
No, it's just, at this point, like...
She doesn't want to build up that much debt.
Yeah, Koduka's brain is just, like, whirling at a mile a minute that she's just like, okay, I apparently had sex with the lady, and then she's offering this rent reduction agreement, which sounds fine, and then she's kind of maybe joking, not joking about having sex with her 21 times, and then she's like, oh, I'll also live with you. It is a lot to process very early in the morning, and she's probably hungover. You know what I mean? There's just a lot going on. And so then it, like, kind of clicks into her brain as she processes, like, oh, this is a good deal. I think maybe we can make this work. So, Koduka signs the agreement with her wax seal, and their cohabitation officially begins. With deep cleaning her place.
Is it a mess?
Yeah, she's been straight up hikikomoring it for months, so the state of her apartment is less than great.
Yeah.
With the landlady leading the charge, they proceed with gathering trash, organizing, and sorting through laundry while they engage in small talk, learning new bits of information about each other. Like how the landlady is 19 and is thirsty for older women.
Oh, God. Whew. But also straight up lesbian behavior.
Uh-huh.
I'm 19 and I want a 25-year-old. Or like a 30-year-old.
Like, wow, do you have a job? Me too. I work at McDonald's, but I'll buy everything for you, queen. We've met so many young lesbians like this. But yeah, so now we know the landlady's 19 and likes older women. We also learned that Koduka might have more money if she wasn't such an otaku, non-derogatory, because her room is filled with figures and specialty items and games. Okay. And specialty items from games, like limited edition sort of stuff.
I was a little otaku myself. Girl, that shit's so expensive. Like, when you don't have a job, you can't prioritize that anymore.
So she likely hasn't bought anything new at this point. She's just been buying beer.
Well, I don't know, because she's been drinking so much.
Yeah, she's just been drinking for the most part. She actually maintains that all this merch is actually research for her game dev job. But, you know, ain't like that now, because she quit.
Yeah.
But so she does actually have a decent reason to have all this merch and stuff like that. She really did work for a game company. But I have not caught up at all with images, so we'll do that real quick.
Yeah.
This is her after the night of fun.
She's so cute.
She is.
I mean, they're both already so cute, but wow.
Yeah, I'm really charmed by the style, honestly, because I feel like sometimes things get a little too, I feel like sometimes certain manga, especially girls manga, or girls adjacent manga, will get a little too, God, I'm sorry if you guys like this. I don't like the style in Fruits Basket. Sometimes things go to that area, and I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. The new style of Fruits Basket, like the latest anime.
That's for the anime, yeah.
Yeah, that makes me less cringe. But if you look at the old version anime,
it's just not my favorite. It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite. Yeah.
Like, I get it, but it's just not for me. And then this is the rent reduction agreement, which it's weird that like the landlady had it on her and then asked for sex. You know what I mean? So there's very clearly like I think she was coming in with this rent reduction agreement and then asked for sex for some reason. So she had this on her person, like, ready to go.
Like, maybe she just got nervous, because I feel like even if you make a plan of how to pitch an idea, it still would be a nerve-wracking experience to request it.
That's fair. Oh, and this is her being like, you got really into it last night. You must like women.
Oh, girl.
And, yeah, then this is Koduka's gross place right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Like, I looked in one corner and was like, well, that's okay. And then I went to the next and was like...
the corner where her stuffed animal is and then everything else is like, oh.
No, I was actually looking at her figures. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, well, that looks organized.
That's very typical. The figures in perfect shape. The rest of her room, shit sick.
Yeah.
I also appreciate that the author snuck in basically Hatsune Miku, because that's exactly what this figure, I believe, is supposed to be.
Oh, that's definitely Miku.
It's like Hatsune Miku from behind, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah. Okay. While sorting, landlady stumbles across an old Mario Kart adjacent game. A favorite of hers, and the first thing that Koduka ever played. So, cleaning takes a back seat so the ladies can battle it out on the track. And Koduka at this point is impressed because the landlady is actually good at the game, and they're fairly evenly matched. Landlady asks Koduka to chill at some point because their gaming noises sound like sex noises. And I think she just says that to throw Koduka off. Because it's Mario Kart, essentially. Yeah. Like, there's different characters, but it is Mario Kart. All's fair in love and Mario Kart, is what I would say. You know? After winning their first match, Koduka cracks open a cold one to celebrate, which is maybe not the best idea.
Because it led you to sex last time.
Yeah.
So you're going to have sex again.
Nevertheless, the ladies play the evening away, alternating wins, until the beer catches up with Koduka, and she loses the last game to Miss Landlady. Koduka collapses back against the floor with a satisfied smile on her face. This is the most fun she's had in a long time. Landlady remarks that Koduka must really like games if this was the highlight of her last few months. Yeah, actually. The company she used to work for was a subsidiary of the company that made this not Mario Kart, so of course she, had a good time. But if that's the case, then why did Koduka quit?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the beer comes in handy for her, because it loosens her up enough to actually talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So she claims that she made one small mistake and it ruined her career at the company forever. But the drawings here paint a different story. It seems like she did her job correctly, participated in some sort of pitch, and subsequently had her pitch stolen by a male coworker and one of her higher-ups.
Fuck.
After which, she was forcibly transferred out of game dev and into an administrative position.
Okay.
So she got her shit stolen, and then she actually went to her, superior to complain about it, and then she got moved.
That sucks.
Yeah. And so I was like, hey, excuse me. And so there's no words as they're showing you this. You're just seeing the, flashbacks, and she's like, oh, I made one mistake. But, as you're reading, you're like, oh, fuck. This is not your fault at all. People just suck.
Yeah.
And so this is why she quit her job suddenly. And this is why she's been on this bender for 3 months.
Honestly, good for her for quitting her job.
Yeah.
It does definitely suck because, you feel so insecure. Where are you going to go? Da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. But honestly, good job, girl. You didn't need that.
Yeah. In her drunken state, Koduka's melancholy suddenly evaporates, along with her common decency, as she tries to strip herself. So the landlady has to, stop her and pull her shirt down. Because Koduka's like, wow, it's just so hot. Pulls off a pajama top.
You're gonna get fucked again.
And then, just as quickly, she's back to feeling sad. She's just so goddamn tired. And then the landlady says, please come home when things are too much. And just kind of out of the blue, she says that, as though she's quoting somebody. Landlady explains that she can get through anything as long as she has a place to come home to. To just spend time with close friends or family, or have a nice warm bed, all that sort of stuff. She declares to Koduka, with a serious look on her face, that she will make sure Koduka always has a place to come home to. Koduka just needs to do her best.
That's really nice.
Sweet, but also kind of intense since they barely know each other, right?
Nah, there's a secret.
Despite being calmed by the landlady's words, Koduka feels the same, grabs the young lady by her jacket, and asks why. Why are you being so nice to me? Homegirl doesn't get to hear the answer as she promptly passes out. The landlady furrows her brow as she gazes down on a sleeping Koduka. She slowly bends down, seemingly propelled by a secret thing that we all know because this is a yuri. She pauses and recoils before she can plant a kiss on Koduka's lips, and then announces her answer to Koduka's question into the quiet of the apartment. Because I love you.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Yeah, of course, it's Yuri Town. Of course we're doing this. But yeah, this is what the poor landlady's having to deal with, is this straight woman behavior of wow, that's such fun, and now my tummy's exposed. Isn't that crazy? And then in between that, this is the scene that we're shown of, she's pitching something, she's doing this, and then she gets back that, because her name is actually on the pitch.
Until it's removed for his.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then this is her trying to strip herself.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the poor landlady, because as serious and as snarky as she's been, she's a 19-year-old. 19-year-olds have this kind of attitude. This cavalier, oh, why don't you sleep with me again kind of shit. Mm-hmm. That's normal for them. But at the same time, now that Koduka's, pulling her shirt off and stuff like that, the landlady's blushing up a storm, and I'm like, yeah, no, it sucks being 19.
Yeah, girl.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, girl.
And then this is her declaration of, I'll make sure you have a home to come home to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all very sweet.
No joke. I feel like a lot of guys would have better luck pulling puss if they just put some romance down first. But I feel like if I say that and then someone hears me, they're gonna be like, well, if I lie about romance, I'll get puss. So I don't want to influence them.
I
Women do it too, but holy shit.
I could go on a rant about the manosphere, but we're not going to do that. But just know, I've seen it all, and it pisses me off daily. The next morning, Koduka awakens from her spot on the floor to the smell of breakfast being cooked. She stumbles into the kitchen and is like, oh, did I pass out? And Landlady's just like, yeah, dude. And then is surprised to find not only that Miss Landlady is throwing it down in there, but also that 2 favors have been crossed off. One for playing games, and the other because Koduka's condition was bad last night, but it's definitely because she was cute and opened up to the landlady.
Lol.
We love a horny girl. Horny for emotions and horny for other stuff.
Well, it's nice that that is also on her list.
Yeah. Well, the landlady, as wild as the start is, the landlady is actually a very nice person.
Yeah.
And she'll prove that to you for sure. As we go along.
like, I didn't doubt. Like, it's a wild premise, but I'm already ready, you know?
As they sit down to enjoy a gorgeous but simple breakfast, Koduka announces that she'll start looking for a new game dev job. She had a dream that someone was really encouraging her, so she's got the spirit back. Was it a dream, though?
No.
Nah. Before Koduka can dwell on that any further, Miss Landlady brings up the near strip show she got last night, completely derailing Koduka's thoughts. And then she also says how cute Koduka's sleeping face was, and that it's her privilege to see it since they're living together. Overall, not the worst first day as roommates, who also kicked off cohabitation with fucking each other.
Yeah, nice.
The next morning starts off with a boob.
What?
The landlady's boobs. Because Koduka's still not used to having a roomie and walked in on her while she was changing in the bathroom. Koduka's weirdly more uncomfortable about it than the landlady is, who just takes it in stride and sits down to have breakfast with her afterwards. The most landlady does is remind her of the contract and what needs to be done. So she's all business, like, okay, you saw my tits. Whatever, get out of here. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I wonder if, I don't know, I haven't had this experience. I've had a lot of, like, normal straight people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had anyone be weird about getting naked in front of me to change. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm normally the one who's like, I'll go to another room and change.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I've had a lot of straight women just, like, undress in front of me, totally comfortable. And I was like, oh, okay, we're fine then.
You know, I just think it depends on how you grew up and who you were kind of around. Because I've had it both ways. I've had people who are like, I'm taking my bra off. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't read the room correctly. I didn't realize that's what we were doing. And I've also had people who've been like, oh, we all go to our separate changing areas and then strip. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah, my family was very much raised in that we all go to our separate changing areas and strip.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in for a shock when I stayed with my cousin for like a summer. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, nah, we're all women here, nudists. And I was like, yo, y'all have tits and I don't yet.
Yeah. Oh, couldn't have been me.
Bless.
But yeah, so Landlady brings the contract back up and is like, this is, what it is, and that's all she's focused on. But that's partially why Koduka's so apologetic about the peeping. Miss Landlady is amazing at housework and has pretty much single-handedly cleaned up the apartment. She did try to help, Koduka did, but she's clumsy, to say the least, and kept getting in the way and kept not being able to finish things. Add to that, the landlady is an amazing cook who knows how to make miso soup feel like a main dish. Koduka's having trouble coming up with favors comparable to the work that Miss Landlady is doing. Besides sex, which she can't do at all? Never again? Never again, never again. Never again for sure.
Girl.
But,
just have sex.
But she's got to contribute somehow.
Sex.
Koduka's body fills with resolve as she gathers up the breakfast dishes to clean them, and promptly breaks one by dropping it in the sink.
Have sex.
Okay, not a good start. There's always the laundry.
Sex is the answer.
Which is already sorted and getting sudsy in the machine. Oops. Landlady is just too perfect at homemaking. And then, as Koduka's like, God, I flunked again. Landlady, she comes in to try and wash the undergarments, which is fine because both of them are women. But of course this leads to bra envy from Koduka because she's an F cup.
Wow.
And so she says, like, yeah, I can never find anything cute, so just pick anything that's available because our bras use so much fabric. All this is true. She's speaking the truth.
Yeah,
she's
big
speaking
boobs
the gospel.
are a nightmare for bras.
And the landlady proudly proclaims that she's a C cup. So as they're doing this, he's just like, oh, an F cup? I'm a C cup, by the way.
Ugh, I'm so jealous.
Of being a C cup?
I'm smaller than that, so
I know.
like I'm flat chested. I'm the flat chested lesbian, which is fine. But like I also was baby faced for a long time, so I often had to deal with like underclassmen trying to bully me because they thought I was a child, and it's like I'm actually your upperclassman. I'm going to kill you. But even then, I also really wanted a bra. Like I really wanted to know what that was like. So college, when I miraculously got boobs, I was like, it's gotta be great. Sucked.
It's not. It's bad.
It really sucked, but like
Turns out it's bad.
for a little while I had boobs, so most of them went away.
Trust me, kids, boobs aren't worth it.
I thought they were. Like, they look so exciting.
I tried to tell
and
you.
fun.
I tried to tell you. You didn't listen.
Look, if you don't have something, you're gonna always want it.
I'm the sage, big-titted elder telling you it's not worth it.
I didn't want crazy big ones like yours, because that looked like a nightmare. But C looked good.
Wrong-o. But yeah, so they compare bra sizes, just as you do. And then Koduka is finally able to help by hanging the laundry on the balcony. She's even got it perfectly organized. And, with it, has regained some confidence in her abilities as an adult. Unfortunately, she's a true clumsy queen and catches her slipper on the edge of the sliding door rail and totally eats it.
God.
Taking all of the fresh, wet laundry with her. Koduka is unsurprisingly upset, because there's nothing worse than fucking up a chore when you're already feeling incompetent. But the landlady, cool as ever, checks on Koduka first, then assures her it's no big deal. They can just wash everything again. It's seriously not the end of the world. Not that that does anything to ease Koduka's melancholy, because really, her sadness isn't just about today. It's about, man, I've spent all this time, weeks, months, not doing anything, and then now, you're this 19-year-old can do all this stuff, and I feel like I don't have my shit together. And it's like, yeah, but you are healing from kind of a big emotional blow.
Honestly, like a trauma.
Yeah, you didn't have a good time. This is why you're kind of uncoordinated. It's not really... I mean, she's clumsy, too. But it's not really about her capabilities as a person. It's more about what's going on with her, right?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So, that evening, as they get ready for bed, Miss Landlady on the floor and Koduka in the bed, Koduka suggests that they sleep together. And then she, flings off the covers, fully embarrassed, and is like, please let me do you a favor.
Oh, girl, you're gonna make this lesbian's night.
Landlady correctly calls her out. Didn't you say never again? But Koduka explains that she's got nothing good to offer except her body. And this is said with very little confidence.
Goodness, girl.
Landlady has every right to troll her, so she does. And she's like, you're gonna be on top, right? Or you're fast, or shouldn't we start with a kiss? All the while, Koduka's having a slight meltdown thinking about the landlady's boobs. So there's a scene where she goes C cup, and then she says C cup, but it's the ocean C, the ocean type of C. She's just like, oh my god, she's got a C cup, she's got a C cup, am I gonna touch her C cup? Before Koduka can seal the deal and actually kiss her, landlady stops her with a hand to the mouth, declaring that she's tired, actually, and just wants to sleep. Because it became clear to her that this game of gay chicken wasn't going to stop unless she ended it. Koduka's just gonna push herself through, no, I can do it. I'll figure out how to sleep with woman.
Woman? Sleep?
Uh-huh.
Woman?
Touch boob?
Yeah.
Landlady asks Koduka to turn on her side, away from her, then slides up against her, curling her arms around Koduka's stomach, giving her a gentle squeeze. Koduka double-checks that this is enough, but quickly finds herself succumbing to the comfort of Landlady's tiny little body and falls fast asleep.
Look, girl, cuddles are good.
They are good.
If you just, cuddle me, damn, that can be as good as sex, you know?
Landlady, despite her excuses of needing Koduka's warmth, ultimately lost gay chicken, because this is somehow more intimate than fucking.
Yeah, it is.
She spends the rest of the night flustered and barely sleeping. No regrets, though, because she marks off another favor. And that in that case, she just tells Koduka, oh, you were very warm. And then tells her, try making the mood like that all the time. Whatever mood you set last night, do that all the time, and that'll be great. Because partially what I like about the landlady is she's cheeky as hell.
Nice.
She's a cheeky queen.
That's good.
But yeah, this was Koduka trying to help out with like getting all the chores and stuff done, and kind of flaming out. And then she's like, "Wow, her food's so good." And then she's like, "Oh, I'll help." Breaks a dish. Okay, no, I got it. I'll do the laundry. Oh, she already did the laundry. And then I appreciated the comparing bras scene, but also I wanted... Okay. I have big boobs now. I had bigger boobs before. I had actually looked at some point into Japanese bras because Japanese bras were running cheaper. Even with shipping costs, were running cheaper than me getting American bras.
Do you want to say how high you had to spend for one bra at one point?
There are multiple times I spent $100+ for a bra.
Yeah,
multiple
a
times.
single one.
And this is sometimes the sale price.
Yeah.
But so Japanese bras were regularly running closer to $30, even for the bigger size, but I couldn't figure out the conversion. And I don't think they had a big enough cup at the time that I was trying to look for them, stuff like that, so I said no. But what I will tell you is Japanese girls will be like, "Oh my god, these bras aren't cute." The ugliest Japanese bra is cuter than some of the prettiest American bras.
Mm-hmm.
If your boobs go F cup or higher, a Japanese bra will be cuter than whatever you can get in the store here. I guarantee it. So I understand why Koduka was complaining, because in comparison, smaller bras are cuter, but hers is still cute. Cuter than the grandma shit I was wearing. So,
yeah.
But again, I appreciate that this was mentioned because this is my lived experience. 100%. So that was pretty cool. But then here she is triumphantly with all of the laundry hung up, and she did a good job.
Nice.
And then she fell.
And then
this is Koduka being like, "Come on, we'll sleep together.
You could have my body.
We could do it."
Honestly, as someone who has a big-chested wife, that would be so good. It's like, let's not sex. Let me just sleep on you.
Mm-hmm.
That is so comfy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so safe.
Yeah. The next morning, landlady accidentally spooks Koduka awake. And then when she does do that, she's like, "Hey, is your heart racing?" And Koduka's like, "Yeah, not in a good way, though." Before Koduka can fully calm herself down, however, they hear a knock at the door. And then a bunch more knocks. And then knocks that are bordering on obsessive.
Nope.
Landlady grabs a cast iron and slowly approaches the door, with Koduka cowering behind her. The little landlady bravely opens the door to reveal a very friendly-looking woman.
No, I don't trust it. I'm more afraid.
Turns out that cutting off contact with a dear friend after your phone service runs out makes him think something terrible has happened to you.
Oh, girl.
So Koduka's dear friend from high school, Nishimiya Aoi, had no choice but to visit without warning.
Yeah.
She'd literally tried to contact her before, but she's like, "I can't get through to you, and now I think you're dead."
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I get it.
So that's why she's banging on the door real hard, because she was like, what happened to her?
Yeah, girl, I would too.
After hugging Koduka tightly and explaining her persistence, she introduces herself to the landlady and apologizes for showing up unannounced. Nishimiya is like a little ray of sunshine in comparison to the always calm landlady and the rapid cycling Koduka, so it's not an unwelcome change. Though Miss Landlady seems a little off. Less talkative, Koduka notes. The landlady does come over and she serves them tea, and then she tries to leave them to hang out privately, which is fair because you don't know this person, so that's kind of what I would assume to do.
Yeah.
But Nishimiya is very much a girl's girl, so she brought ice cream and wants to share with everyone. So she's like, "If I have all this ice cream, we're all gonna sit down and eat it together. I can't leave you out,
Let's
girl.
all eat this, yo."
And then landlady's very cute at this point because she gets convinced by sweets. She's like, "No, I'll leave. I don't belong here." Ice cream. You want it? I got chocolate.
Here.
Pretty much. Me. That's honestly me. You could convince me to stay for that.
Yeah.
Whatever little Miss Landlady's going through, she's treated to some deep Koduka lore. Specifically, that she loves strawberry-flavored anything and can't hide her enjoyment. And also just how down on herself Koduka has been all these months. She didn't even reach out to her closest friend because she was embarrassed at how far she'd fallen. Nishimiya, the good friend that she is, thinks nothing of it and consoles Koduka as she lets her tears of frustration and disappointment flow. So Nishimiya ends up holding on to her and being like, "It's okay, it's not a big deal, and you'll figure it out, I'm always here for you," something, and that sort of thing. So very, very sweet friendship.
Yeah, I mean, that probably, seriously really helps, because, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough, going through stuff like that. I'm kind of in the middle of going through that. I got very injured at work, lost my job, I'm still trying to recover. But boy, you don't feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
It took a long time for me to just kind of like accept that this is where I am in the universe and it's not my fault and like things will be better.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's nothing like a good friend to like make that easier.
Yeah.
Or an amazing wife, because I'm very lucky and I have a wife.
Ew.
Yeah, you. I love you.
Gross. Landlady is still oddly quiet as Nishimiya gets ready to leave, though she's certainly not prepared for Nishimiya to address her directly and thank her earnestly for saving Koduka. This seems to leave Landlady even more troubled as Koduka forcibly leads Nishimiya out of the apartment block. Like, she has the biggest of conflicted frowns on her face. And I'm like, girl, you just got thanked. Like, but I also get it, because that'd probably be me too. If somebody thanked me that earnestly, I'd be like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
While Koduka walks her out, Nishimiya imparts some really good advice with reference to living with someone. It's important to put in effort and be able to talk to them about anything and work towards forgiveness. And that even friends will drift apart if they're not open enough with one another. Aoi reminds Koduka that she can call her anytime and then heads out.
Nice.
This is them at the door with a pan and Koduka freaking the fuck out. And then here's Aoi, Nishimiya.
They're cute. They kind of look the same though.
Mm-hmm. And then this is her hugging it out and being like, I'm so glad you're not dead, essentially. But yeah, I probably have more pictures of Aoi than is necessary, but I just like her a lot.
No, she's got that look of a girl I would like.
Yeah. And then Aoi back in the day had some weird cut and color to her hair, which I think is really cute too.
Yeah, I know exactly what girl she was.
Yeah, and then this shows Koduka's face eating strawberries. She always looks like she's half drunk when she eats strawberries because she's so excited. And it's not any different now as an adult.
No, she loves a strawberry.
She loves a strawberry. And then more Koduka crying, because she cries a lot in this, but she's a bit of a crybaby.
She got a heel.
And then this look has context to it for later.
I can't tell what that look is, honestly.
All of the landlady's looks are kind of pensive through this chapter specifically, but we will get to why. And then I did save a picture of Koduka's like side profile as she's hanging out with, as she's like saying goodbye to Aoi, specifically because she's drawn accurate for her boob size.
Yeah. No, I actually saw this over your shoulder and was like, whoa, they drew her boobs right. Because that was pretty cool.
Like, I think I'm going to mention this a couple more times, but I love the way that Koduka's boobs are drawn for multiple reasons. I just feel seen, is what it is. I feel very
like,
seen.
If you're a big-chested girl, you can look big, but if you get looked at from the side and you're in the right shirt, everyone's like, whoa, it's just a wall of titty. Mm-hmm. There's not fat there. It's just titty.
There's a tit shelf that forms.
Yeah.
And that's what your life is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Koduka returns to her apartment, she ends up sitting quietly next to the landlady as she reads a book. Honestly, it's more like Koduka staring her down, trying to figure out what's wrong without asking. Eventually, Miss Landlady asks what's up. Well, she seems down since Aoi came over, and Koduka noticed, so, like, is she good? Aoi didn't do anything wrong, and her sudden appearance wasn't an issue either. It's just, female friendships are so alien to her. With all the hugging and special treatment, is Koduka absolutely sure that there's nothing going on between them? Koduka's 100% positive there's nothing there. Besides, Aoi's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then she asks if the landlady has any female friends, to which she replies, nah, because I might develop feelings for them.
Mm-hmm.
She says it in that depressingly matter-of-fact way that alludes to something fucked off happening in the past.
Yeah, I bet she was accused of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that, for sure. And then the landlady gets up to go dejectedly take a bath, but Koduka's not having it.
Mm-hmm.
She throws open her arms, titties abundant, and offers to hug Miss Landlady. Because it'll cheer her up. Which is true, though maybe not how she's thinking about it.
It's not going to be a friend cheer up.
And it's something that Aoi always does for her that brings her comfort. So, call it a favor or whatever. Koduka is down to hug.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Landlady seems apprehensive at first, but Koduka assures her that the offer for hugs is unlimited. Anytime, any place, 5 ever. Landlady blushes and looks pensive for a moment, then throws herself into Koduka's arms, just to try it out real quick. And this blush looks more like a oh, I'm really allowed to do this kind of situation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, baby.
Yeah, that's sad.
You can hug her.
I've met someone who, like, really struggled with relationships because, and we've talked about this person before, they were so goddamn gorgeous, no one had any chill with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless you were, like, locked down in a relationship, or I guess normal, because I do not understand why people could not be chill with her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how hot she was, because she was unnaturally hot naturally, and people were weird with her, men and women, and it's just like, she had the hardest time having friends. She really had to exist in our queer space as a straight woman, because like, she couldn't find acceptance anywhere without someone being like, cool, you talk to me, so let's have sex now.
Yeah.
It's so sad. I'm very glad I met them so that I could appreciate the struggles for extremely pretty people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure out there there's someone listening going, pretty people don't have problems. I'm like, no, man, I thought that too. Girl, this was upsetting. Like, she couldn't have any friends, it felt like, any roommates, without someone being like, well, you looked at my boyfriend, or my boyfriend's looking at you, or my girlfriend's looking at you. Like, she just was trying to live her fucking little life, man. Mm-hmm. It sucked. I honestly was like, girl, you ever want to, like, get plastic surgery to get uglier just a little bit? Like, get a bad nose job? Mm-hmm. Like, it felt like that would solve her problems.
So, yeah, it is this kind of clue that the landlady has been somewhat isolated in some way.
Yeah.
And so when you're isolated or kind of ostracized, if people are just, like, not gelling with you, it's so nice to have somebody who gives a damn about you.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious, but, like, I feel like some people need to be reminded sometimes.
Yeah.
If somebody's going through it, a hug or a head pat or some acknowledgement can go a long way.
Yeah, isolation is terrible, man. Like, I feel really bad. I already am worried that, like, she came out and then, like, lost her group and was never allowed friends again. I'm like, that just sucks. Mm-hmm. That sucks.
Fair. It's totally fair. Well, said quick hug is actually very long and a mix of intimate and healing. Like the deep hug that you give someone when it's been ages since someone held you. Landlady is obviously going through a host of emotions. Koduka, meanwhile, is caught up in how nice she smells and how slender her body is compared to her own, which are not the gayest thoughts someone could have, but damn if this hug isn't making her feel different from earlier that day. So, like, hugging Aoi, good, wholesome, great. Hugging the landlady, there's more here, I think. Maybe?
Mm-hmm. There's some feelings here.
Landlady keeps hugging more intensely, sinking further into Koduka's arms, inhaling her scent, face aglow with a mighty blush. Her breath tickles Koduka's neck, causing her to push back, catching them both by surprise, and their faces end up mere centimeters away from each other in true romance manga fashion, causing Koduka to blush this time.
Like they're gonna kiss?
Yeah, like, oh, do we almost have a kiss? Landlady firmly pushes her away as quickly as possible, declaring that she's had enough for now.
I'm done.
Koduka asks if she stinks. No. And then she hurries off to bathe anyways, leaving Landlady in a daze, reeling from getting too close to the sun. Still fluss, she walks over to the rental agreement and crosses off another favor before collapsing into a squat and bemoaning straight people for being like that.
Damn.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, girl.
I do feel bad for her, because truthfully, yeah.
Straight people a mess.
Yeah. But yeah, here's them sitting next to each other, and we actually just see the little weird demon tofu plush that Koduka has.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, just a cute little thing. And then these are some of the faces that the landlady's having that very matter of fact, like, oh, well, I can't do that because I'll be attracted to women, or I can't do XYZ. And it's like, I wish you wouldn't say that. That sucks.
That sucks.
And then, yeah, the view of Koduka being like, I'll give you a hug, it's just full tits.
That is just
and
full
I
tits.
know she doesn't know that. She's not thinking about it at all.
It's honestly very sweet. And, like, it's a very honest thing. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's definitely hard when someone knows you're, like, bisexual or gay. Mm-hmm. And then maybe is being a little jokey about it. But it's like, no, that actually is nice for me. Don't tease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And in this case, like, Koduka has no idea. She doesn't get it at all. So she's not trying to do anything.
I will admit, like, I did, like, in high school, I had a fear of loss of really important female friendships. Mm-hmm. Like, more than anything, I was like, boy, if these two girls who I grew up with, who I love dearly, find out I'm bisexual, I don't think they'll talk to me again. And you want to know the sad thing? I haven't seen them since high school. I never got to tell them I was bisexual.
Yeah.
And I think part of me lost contact with them on purpose.
That's not an uncommon story either.
Yeah, oops, ouchies. But, like, it just hit me. It's like, I'm pretty sure I, like, lost contact with them a little bit on purpose because then I didn't have to tell them.
Yeah.
Damn, dog.
If it helps, I think one of them knows because they did add me to Facebook when I made my new Facebook. So don't worry. Nothing's wrong.
I'm making a very meme-ish face right now.
Also, to be perfectly clear, no one from our high school would be surprised if we got married.
No.
Half of them think we probably did in retrospect, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's just like, it's one of those things that this relationship was important to me through all of grade school, all of middle school, all of high school. And then, like, honestly, the fear of coming out, I lost them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I can't get it back, because like you just said, they've added us on Facebook, apparently. Doesn't sound like it'd be too hard to reach out. But it's just this, like, I let a relationship die for a good 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because coming out was just like, I don't want to lose them. Yeah. So I'd cut them off.
No, again, not an uncommon experience. Not uncommon at all. Extremely, extremely normal. I'd encourage people not to do that and just take a chance.
Yeah.
Because it's also better, I think, just to get out of the way. You know what I mean? Or like, give the person a chance to actually prove to you that they are your friend. You know what I mean? That's how I would say to take it. But I still also understand putting a boundary down just because you're too afraid. But just give it a shot. And just encouraging you to give it a shot.
Honestly, when you're young, you're gonna make mistakes. It's gonna happen.
Shit's not easy.
It's not easy. So, like, I'm definitely gonna give my younger self grace here. But it just, like, it hit me. I'm like, oh, yeah, exactly what this girl's going through. I feared it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want that to happen.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the deep hugging, and then the deeper hugging.
She's really it's got a little horny.
And then the almost, oops.
Only getting a little horny, honestly, from, what's her name, Koduka?
Koduka.
Getting a little horny from her more than the, you know.
Yeah, and then the straight people are our annoying squad.
I do like it, though. It's cute.
Yeah, we've all been there. And then we'll get to this in Un Memento as well.
Girls?
Yeah, there's a reason.
I'm sure.
I showed her something heinous, but there's a reason for it.
It's not that heinous. I'm pretty sure I actually know what's going on, but it is suggestive.
Yeah. So, I'm going to skip over the next chapter here to give a little more lore about the landlady, because the chapter after I think is a little more important to talk about. But what is important to know is that Koduka is sending out resumes, got an interview, and then promptly got super sick.
No, excuse me, that was loud.
You're so offended on her
behalf. I got offended on her behalf. That sucked.
Plenty of Yuri-tastic moments as landlady takes care of her, especially the bit where Koduka asks for help wiping the sweat from her body and them tickle bitties.
Oof.
So, yeah, what I showed Keelz is that she did ask for the sweat to get wiped off her body, and is like, yeah, just help me out, landlady. And the landlady does it, but you can see her, like, girding her loins, like, okay, I'm really gonna do this. Wait, how far up does she want me to go? And then she, like, very quickly, like, cleans between her boobs. And Koduka's just like, oh, that feels so nice. Thank you so much. I feel fresher. You're so sweet. I love you. You're great. But I'm like, oh, the gay panic going through the poor landlady's body. Because it's a lot of titty. And again, the titty's drawn correctly. And I'm like, bless. But this also leads to another favor getting crossed off. Though even that time the landlady's embarrassed about it, like, oh, she gave me something amazing. Cross off.
That's so funny.
The chapter after, the ladies go on a date.
Nice.
Koduka's not busy until a rescheduled interview, so landlady asks her out. Is it actually just a shopping trip with no ulterior motive? Kind of. But as they make their way to the shopping center, Koduka realizes that the landlady is dressed differently. Like she put in some effort to her already cute appearance. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
But she was kind of brushing off like, oh no, we're just gonna do some stuff together, not a big deal. And Koduka's like, yeah, this isn't a date. And then she looks at the landlady. She's like, oh no, she got like dressed extra cute. And then, oh, look at me.
Is she not extra cute?
She looks cute, but she's like, I just threw on whatever, and there's like a stain on my shirt. And I didn't brush my hair very nice. Oh no. I'm not respecting her in this moment. I feel bad.
Cute.
Romance stays on Koduka's mind as they shop. Probably because they're shopping for household items. You know, for the apartment they share. But also because landlady did put in all that effort, so maybe she should match her vibe? Holding hands wouldn't be that weird for two women, right? Her mind's...
Girl.
I know. But she's immediately trying to consider the landlady's feelings on this is very cute, but also very like, girl, that's gay.
Very, very cute, but all girl. Cut me a break.
Her mind's so full of, don't come for me, gay thoughts, that when landlady asks her what she's looking at, Koduka points directly to a newlywed set of dishes. So she just actually points to the next closest thing, and then it's newlywed dishes. Which landlady purchases immediately. And she looks the most excited she has since the start of the manga, honestly.
Why did she want them? Was it just because the girl pointed them out?
Because they're newlywed dishes. They're for
so
a young couple.
She wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, oh, we'll get them.
That's cute.
But yeah, oh, sorry, let me show you the rest of how intense this,
the wipe down
the wipe down gets, and then I will show you the newlywed dishes part.
You can tell someone who does hentai for yuri or ecchi or whatever.
Or just likes women's bodies a lot.
Or really likes women did this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because not only is this, like, real because, like, God, I'm sick, please help me wipe down. But it's also just, like, hot. I've had to wipe you down many, many times while you're sick. The struggle.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a great struggle to
Thanks
have.
for helping me shower for like 2 weeks this year.
Yeah. I think more than that because of double surgery.
Oh, this year, 2026.
Oh,
2025 is a whole different thing. That was also like at least a week.
I keep forgetting we're in 2026 a little bit.
Girl, it's been a minute.
It just feels like we've been in hell for a long time.
For real. But yeah, it's not like Koduka's dressed badly or anything. She still looks cute. She's a cute person. But the landlady actually put in some effort for her. She's got kind of a tomboy style.
Yeah, it looks very sporty cute.
Yeah. And then this is Koduka being like, well, these people are holding hands. Maybe we hold hands, question mark.
Girl.
And then, yeah, she points to the newlywed dishes, and this is how pumped up the landlady is.
Let's get it. She busts out the money.
She immediately has her cash, yeah.
How is she landlady at this age? That's all I keep thinking about.
You are so right, Queen, and I will explain to you. We will definitely get there. Buoyed by the landlady's reaction, Koduka relaxes and really starts enjoying their outing. So like they end up going clothes shopping, they play crane game, they just have normal mall activities.
Nice.
By the time they break in the food court, it certainly feels like they've had a good date, which makes it the perfect time for something, or in this case, someone, to go wrong. A young woman notices landlady and makes a beeline for her, her nondescript boyfriend in tow.
Oh, God. No, like, I already have a feeling.
I finished the script recently. It's only I don't remember parts of it. But calling her boyfriend nondescript is so accurate. Because he means nothing. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So this woman calls out landlady's name, calling her Hara-san, and it's immediately clear that this random woman is the last person that the landlady wants to talk to.
God.
Well, and by the way, Koduka didn't know the landlady's name.
Ugh.
So you notice I've been calling her landlady this whole time? You don't find out part of her name until right fucking now. Because from Koduka's point of view, she has not asked.
Girl, give me a sec. I got it. I have to make a physical movement. of cringing. Didn't know her name.
To be fair.
How many chapters has it been?
At this point, it's chapter 5.
How many days has it been? Like a week?
Oh, at least a week.
Ugh.
The name's also on the rental agreement, but she just hasn't bothered to read it. And I will say, technically Japanese names, you can read the character but not know exactly how to pronounce the name. So she still might not have a full idea of what her name sounds like. But this is extreme that she never just checked for it.
I'm just.
Koduka's adorable. She's just all over the place right now.
Is she adorable? I don't know. I don't know if I would call it adorable right now.
She's trying her best.
Try harder.
Well, Rando proceeds to reintroduce herself. Like, don't you remember me from high school? And
You ruined my life, haha.
She's trying to evoke some sort of positive reaction from Landlady.
There's not going to be a positive reaction. I can already tell you ruined her life.
And then she sets her sights on Koduka, who had been politely trying to interface with her as Landlady sunk further down into her seat. Rando asks straight up, in front of God, Jesus, and the rest of the cafeteria patrons, if Koduka and Landlady are dating. Like, loudly ask.
God, that sucks.
Koduka says, nah, we're good friends. And then this girl's, like, terrible boyfriend is like, girlfriends? What?
Looks
like,
up
women
from his phone.
into women? Like, he literally seems like he's barely drawn, honestly.
Oh, God.
And then, suddenly, he's like, wow, women and women together romantically? Huh?
How does that work?
And this
Want to show me?
Right. And this bitch just keeps talking about how everyone knew Landlady dated a girl and how she doesn't have anything against people like Landlady, but she just assumed, you know? And it's the way that she says, like, I don't have anything against people like you. And it feels like when white people say blacks to me.
Oh, Christ.
It's that kind of feeling. It's like, what do you mean people like me?
Yeah.
Excuse me? Do you think you're being progressive, man?
I think that's the closest I'll probably ever feel to having that experience then, huh?
Yeah, it just feels icky. Like, even if their heart's in the right place, it feels icky because you also suddenly are barraging you with shit, you know? And all Landlady can say in return to all this is there something you want? She just keeps saying, is there something you want? Is there something that you want to do with me? Over and over. Like, not giving her the time of day. And this woman just keeps looking offended, like, what do you mean? Why would I want something from you? I'm not trying to be mean to you. We go way back. And it's just it's so awkward and so, like, socially offensive.
God.
And it's weird that she doesn't get it. Koduka, looking on in mild horror, looks at the woman and straight up asks, what's wrong with you?
Thank God.
She then abruptly stands up, grabs Landlady's hand, and runs off with her, announcing their retreat. She just grabs her hand and says, like, retreat! We gotta go! Mm-hmm. Koduka doesn't let go as they head out of the mall and onto the street. Landlady's like, well, maybe don't. Like, what do people see? But Koduka's all like, nah, don't care. Fuck the police. I'm taking your hand, and we're gonna keep going. We are running away from the awkwardness. Normally sweet and goofy Koduka is straight up pissed.
Yeah.
It is no one's fucking business who you're dating, and people definitely shouldn't randomly come up to you and ask that shit, especially if you don't know their ass or haven't seen them in a long time. Because I do think it can be okay if somebody's like, oh, hey, are you dating that person, or is that your boyfriend or girlfriend? But there's a casual way to do it. It's not, hey, are you in lesbians with her?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you're so at it.
It's not
with women.
It's not shouting it at the top of your lungs.
Yeah, it's not letting everybody in a 15-mile radius know. But yeah, so Koduka is very upset about this, explains why she's upset about it to the landlady. She's like,
because that girl's a bitch.
Yeah, she's like, Koduka's not going to say bitch, but you can feel in the way that she's speaking about it. Like, this girl's being a bitch, because it's the way that she did it, not just what she said. Surprisingly, landlady says it's no big deal.
Girl, you wrong.
That woman just doesn't understand her. And, after all, she used to think that Koduka was like that, too. Well, that's not what Koduka wanted to hear, but it helps her realize that she may have been inconsiderate to landlady in the past, too. She didn't understand her either. This is like her first time, like, knowing a gay woman.
Yeah.
Koduka tightens her grip on landlady's hand, and they continue the trek home. Once home, landlady throws herself into Koduka's arms, cashing in on the unlimited hugs. Because, for as unbothered as she tried to appear, the cafeteria fiasco really did deal her psychic damage. Koduka slowly slides her arms around landlady, and then delivers a sweet little speech about how they may not be family or lovers, but she still wants them to get to know each other and to worry about one another. Mm-hmm. The landlady at this point tries to push her away, but Koduka grabs her back, pushing her directly into her boobs, declaring that she wants landlady to rely on her too. For once, little landlady looks her age as she quietly gives in and says, okay. And there's so much more lesbianism in store from here.
That's so nice.
But that is where we are going to leave the summary at this point.
Honestly, that's a nice, hopeful place to stop, which you don't normally stop on. Normally, I'm dying.
Yeah.
So this is actually a very nice place to stop.
Yeah.
Also, damn. Just this. Like, I can't tell you how many people that I kind of fear running into again who asked me about my sexuality, and I told them, no, I like men. Because I was like, if I say half the truth, it's not a lie.
I mean, truthfully, you're not lying. You do like men, but you just also like women.
But there was one person, because I knew they were very religious and actually kind of weirdly afraid of gay women. I was like, no, I'm straight. And I feel really bad about that one.
What are you supposed to do?
I know. But it's just like this guilt of like, I'm so sorry.
Hey, put the Catholicism up, okay? What are you supposed to do?
I know,
okay?
I know.
You did your best in the situations that came. You can't feel guilty about doing your best.
Yeah.
And also, it was a different time.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, we'll run through the rest of the pictures real quick. I just wanted to show off that they did their little shopping trip together. And this is we only get like 2 scenes, I believe, of the landlady in a dress. And this is one of them. And it's just this little side part. Like, we barely get the chance to see her.
Because she won't come out in it?
Yeah. Because she is super cute, but she definitely is more of a tomboy. And she's a very cute tomboy. Because she's kind of one of my favorite tomboy archetypes. And that her hair's super, super long, but she's always dressed as a tomboy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but, like, sometimes just Japanese tomboys hit different.
Yeah.
You know?
There's something about how they do it that I'm like, I don't know. It must be how bone structure is there.
Maybe.
Bone structure and how they make their clothes. Because I've seen, like, Japanese tomboy style, and I'm just like, there's something different here that is really cool.
It's good style.
Yeah.
I think also, like, a lot of black tomboys have that same vibe.
Yes.
Because of the street style angle
yeah.
to it. So, I mean, I see other women like this. If you look at a basketball team, there's some gorgeous tomboys on a women's basketball team. Mm-hmm. I'll just say that. But, like, I just don't feel like I get to see this enough in my real life. So when I see it in a comic, too, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, here's this random woman and then her nondescript boyfriend.
He's so nondescript.
I told you. And, like, Lily's obviously uncomfortable the whole time, and Homegirl can't read the room. And this is Koduka like, hey, what's wrong with you?
I just flat out love her being very blatantly like, what's wrong with you? And you know what would be really nice? Is if, like, later, it'd be nice if boyfriend was actually cool and was like, you were shitty and we're breaking up. Like, I know that's likely not going to happen.
But I get why you want it.
But, like, in reality, that does happen to couples a lot. I don't know here. But I've seen it happen here where it's like, hey, you're being real shitty about something. I gotta go.
Yeah, showing your ass in front of your partner can be a death knell to your relationship. Yeah. But I do also appreciate, like, I don't want to understate how cool it was for Koduka to say, like, hey, what's wrong with you? Because this woman was being rude, but in a way that, like, would be rude specifically to you, but would seem friendly. And, like, to normal people, because she wasn't using impolite language or anything like that. But Koduka being like, hey, what's wrong with you? That's, like, very impolite in Japanese society.
Yeah.
So for her to be that direct, crazy. Especially for her, who she's super polite most of the time.
Love that she did that.
Yeah, and then here's their retreat. Again, well done, boobs, on Koduka. I'm going to say that all the time. And then she's still mad afterwards, of course. And this is the maddest that you'll see Koduka, like, the entire comic.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I got.
I would love this as a series, honestly.
It's such a good comic. Also, too, this is a 3-book comic, so I've finished a good chunk of book 1. There's still, like, 1 more chapter left, and then some extras in book 1. So you have plenty more to read.
That's nice.
And it's a nice, slow slide in their relationship, I believe, so.
I like that.
We're going to go over the 3 characters we've seen, and then I will tell you there's a couple other characters we'll kind of talk about a little bit, but we'll just go over the main ones that we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
Koduka Chiyo is 24, unemployed, and going through a bedrotting phase. She's incredibly friendly, polite, empathetic, and kind of all over the place. She can be clumsy and goofy, and gets drunk too easily, but she's extremely difficult to hate. She's super passionate about game design, which is why she's so dejected after the snafu at her previous job. She also regularly proclaims that she likes men, but hasn't dated one in a long time, and is way too comfortable offering up her body to the landlady.
Mm-hmm.
She very much has latent gay energy. Like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, like every gay we met at one of our jobs.
Oh, yeah, so many.
It was a crazy amount of women who, like, we knew, without saying anything, a bunch of women who were married, were happy, had families, Their men cheated on them. They fell unsupported with women.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realized, I like women now.
Mm-hmm. There was a woman at her last job, one of the butchest looking women I've ever seen, and her husband did think that she was hot, did marry her on purpose, but I remember I just kept thinking, like, this is just a lesbian. And she didn't find that out until she started working with us. She was the last person to know.
Yeah.
And, like, luckily they didn't have kids and it wasn't that complicated to get divorced, but she did get divorced, and then she started dating one of the other most lesbian people we knew.
But yeah, I think hers was the one where there wasn't a huge calamity.
Yeah, it was
just her discovering.
Yeah.
Which I'm, like, grateful that someone just discovered it. It sucks that it happened while you were married, because I can't imagine a divorce, even amicable, is fun.
Yeah.
But, like, we had so many women who were cheated on, and then, like, found support in women, and then suddenly realized, wait, this is it?
Like, oh, I've been attracted to women this whole time. I'm not just obsessed with her style and her boots. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Very funny.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the landlady, Hara Ritsuka. She is 19 and in charge of managing several rental properties for some fucking reason. She's dependable, serious, mature, and has enough perseverance for 2 people. There's a soft, gooey interior underneath it all, but she's very clearly protecting that side of her. She's 100% playing herself by entering into a contract with Koduka, but she's young and stupid and totally smitten. It takes some effort to allow herself to just be happy.
Bless her.
Yeah, she's a very sweet character, but I am just like, girl, you were playing with fire, being like, I'll just ask her if she wants this rental agreement. Oh, that's crazy. We had sex. Oh, that's crazy. What if I live in her house? And I'm like, it's such a gamble to make, and it does obviously pay off for her. I wouldn't be talking about this today if this didn't end happy. Like, I want something chill, so it very obviously ends happy, ends well, but what a gamble to make, and you're so lucky it worked out.
Yeah.
Nishimiya Aoi is also 24 and is Koduka's bestie. She's like a physical manifestation of a sunbeam and is super loyal, understanding, and a supportive person. She doesn't judge people, whether they've quit their job or are a giant lesbian, as long as they're happy. She's pretty wise underneath all that sunshine, making her a great friend to Koduka and a cool person in general.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a handful of other cool ladies in here. It's mostly women in here the rest of the way. I think the only boy we got to see really was that nondescript boyfriend, and everyone else is women. Oh, and there's a owner of a store later on that he's also a man, but he's more descript, but he's like from Koduka's past, and it's like he's a good person and stuff like that, but he doesn't get mentioned that much. The other women that show up are all also interesting and cute. There's like another woman who's in game design that Koduka gets to know, which is really cool. Koduka meets someone at like a job that she has that's also really neat, and there's another woman that we don't get to meet directly, but she's in the ending extra, which is important. You'll see.
Okay.
You're very glad that she exists, but you'll see. So, after reading about murderous lesbians and dads who love to choke, I needed a break. And I Can't Believe I Slept With You was exactly what I needed. Even with the ridiculous premise, I found myself nervous that something would go wrong, or there'd be a surprise, a super toxic love triangle, or a deep dark secret that nearly tears a couple apart. Instead, I found comfort in big titties. We've talked a lot about Yuri either being the most chaste or the most heinous, and it's hard to find something in between. Unlike yaoi that seems to run the gamut between holding hands to fucking dragons to old men rivalry, but this manga sits in the middle, and it's great. It is that middle ground that I was looking for. It is that we're just joshing and having a good time, seeing what you'll believe. That's what I wanted. The plot points are just incidental enough to be interesting, but not so crazy that they feel completely unbelievable. Like, we definitely know somebody who's hooked up and had a gay awakening while they're under the influence.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes. Your inhibitions are let go and you're like, oh man, that person of the same gender is looking extra cute tonight. Oopsie toodles. The characters are charming, and their problems are real without sliding into melodrama. And, most importantly, nobody fucking dies.
Mm-hmm.
No one's dead in this, nobody's dead in the past, no one's dead, and that's great. You really don't feel like anyone should die either, which is nice in its own way too. Because like that lady being like, oh, it's cool, I'm cool with people like you. I think she should get pushed into like slow traffic. But I don't think she should die.
She should just break a leg.
Yeah, like...
Or, like, You know what? I want to give you a curse of have a scar that everyone's going to ask you about and you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Get bit by a dog, get traumatized by the bite from the dog, and have everyone ask you about it.
Yeah, and then you'll understand, maybe I should shut my fucking mouth.
Maybe I shouldn't out people for fun.
She just needs some karma, but she doesn't need to die. And that's great. And I'm so glad that was the situation here.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a slice of life, since the majority of the comic is spent inside of one apartment, as the leads go about their daily lives, but together. But a good slice of life balances the banality of everyday living with the mundane horrors that can crop up throughout a lifetime. Case in point, landlady Ritsuka and her empire of rentals. She's managing several properties, living completely independently, and is crazy mature for a 19-year-old. She obviously didn't buy all those properties herself. They had to be given to her in some way, and yet she never speaks of her family a single fucking time.
Damn.
Very much feels like she was given a job that would allow her to live comfortably so that her family wouldn't feel guilty for abandoning her otherwise. Which, this is a thing that people do in family-focused societies. Look, this is not the first time I've heard of this. Not the first time I've heard of a family basically saying, like, oh, well, there's fealty, so we have to give you something to do. You hear about it in history as well. Like, you go back into, like, oh, God, like, not even just feudal Japan, but, like, deep into Japanese history, deep into Chinese history, deep into, you know, even European history, you will hear of at least, like, rich or wealthy or, like, merchant-level people being like, there's that one kid I hate, but I have to give him something, so they'll just stay out of my fucking hair. And that's what feels like is going on with the landlady. Is that she was given this so that they can be like, see, you'll manage something, we don't have to see you anymore, and then you can't complain that we didn't take care of you.
And is that the case with the family?
We don't know for sure, but because she is 19 years old and managing 3 properties and is very good at it, something feels off.
Yeah.
This had to have been given to her. Yeah, so there's just something weird. It's gotta be something like that. And it's giving that vibe. And just because I know that this is a thing that's still done in Japan with some families who have, like, means, it does feel like that's what's happened to her. So, like, that's my interpretation. Maybe the author's gone more in depth on that in Japanese somewhere in one of her pages, but that's the feeling I'm getting. And she did mention that she wanted to go deeper into the landlady's story, but she kind of felt like the comic had run its course in the right way, and she was good to stop here. So, you can come up with your own little ideas, but I do believe I'm on to something here. But you can assume that this situation is directly related to her sexuality, which is fucked, but also not the main focus of this manga at all. And landlady's sexuality generally seems to be the elephant in the room, considering how often she shuts off emotionally when it comes up, but it makes her a more complicated character that she's both yearning for acceptance, but has learned to hide that part to protect herself. But within the manga, the baggage she carries only matters in relation to the current story unfolding and how much she wants to lay Koduka down by the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, Koduka is very much depressed. It's not said outright, but you don't just quit your dream job and bed rot for 3 months without some level of psychological distress.
Yeah.
She was also very clearly ashamed of how far she'd fallen, to the point that she'd isolated herself further from family and friends. That's some textbook depressy-wussy.
Yeah.
While her depression does improve and is addressed by the events in the manga, the reason she quits is acknowledged but not dwelled on, even though it's super shitty. Because that shit just happens to people sometimes, and life still goes on. Oh god. We have a friend who, he is awesome, and he's really good at stuff, but I've seen him at work multiple times get attitude over something that was a good idea, or like he's had his idea stolen because someone was like, that's stupid, and then when their higher up comes around, is like, well, how can we fix this problem? The person who dismissed him and was like, it's not a problem. They suddenly come up with this idea and then give him no, credit for it. Or they've said, oh, you're just trying to cause problems. And then, I brought it up or somebody else brought it up and they're like, well, it is a pretty good idea. I've seen this happen to him. And it pissed me off every time. It is just a thing that happens. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair. And people are dumb. And all these people I wanted to push into the street.
Mm-hmm.
Push.
Man. Adjacent to it, I just remember once that this guy did what a bunch of girls were asking for at our work, and then it worked for one way but not for everyone because it was not a universal problem that could be fixed, but it could be alphabetized, which would help a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And then the manager was like, well, ladies, and one of us was not a lady, was like, what do you think? And then we explained why it wouldn't work for us.
It was an ADA violation, by the way.
Yeah, and we asked if it could be alphabetized with slightly bigger font so everyone could read it and get what they needed. The answer we got back was no. And he goes, is there anything else I could do? And then I said, may I be absolutely frank? And he's there. My manager is there. Another manager is there. And then I said, you're leaving us shit out of luck. And you're telling me to my face in a very polite way that you don't give a fuck about me or anyone who's having a problem. Our friend who was just working nearby.
He looked delighted.
And the two managers who heard me, my manager, the other manager, on my side. My manager, not so much. The other manager, I'm on her side, but I can't believe she said it. And I had a lot of pull in my position. So, like, this left this other manager fumbling. And he just didn't know what to respond. He's like, that's not what I'm doing. And then I go, you just said you're not going to help me or my other friend next to me, or this person next to me, or the two other people who are asking for changes.
Or, by the way, multiple other people who didn't speak up about this, but were also affected by this change.
And so I go, so you are actively not going to help me. And so I didn't realize, but I had shocked the nation of managers. And everyone was, like, aghast. And then the big manager came down, who, like, the last time I saw him, I got him rip-roaring drunk. And so he's like, hey, do you have any problems? And I told him exactly what was wrong, and he fixed it. And then another manager finished fixing it. Because that manager was like, I approve of it, so you can fix it. And no one can tell you no. And I was like, thanks.
Right. And so this shit happens. It happens, and it's dumb. And it's usually due to bureaucracy or people being stubborn or people not giving a shit about what's going on with you and they don't understand you. But this does...
Looking over a small disability that it's like... It's a small disability that, like, many people had.
But also, it wouldn't hurt you to just do it because it doesn't affect anybody else negatively. In fact, it helped people who did not have this disability. But this is the shit that happens, and you work through it, or you quit the job, or you fix it yourself, and you move on.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it is so common. And so we just don't spend that much time on it because, yeah, it's going to be a footnote in the grand scheme of your life. All this stuff will be a footnote.
You will live to cut people down another day. Don't you worry.
But I really like the way that both Koduka and the landlady kind of heal their hearts as they fall in love with each other. Or more in love in the landlady's case because she's already there. Landlady starts off very standoffish and guarded, but also doesn't defend herself when psychic damage is being dealt. By the end, however, she's learned to let her walls down, not just to Koduka, but also to a few other characters. She also learns to like herself and view her wants and desires as valid.
Good.
Koduka, meanwhile, rediscovers her confidence and reaffirms her passion while also branching out into new gayer territory. She learns to see herself differently, as a person who is competent and can take charge of her own life and make a strong impact in the lives of others. And y'all know I'm a slut for romantic relationships, helping the folks in said relationship grow. So these ladies do that magnificently.
Nice.
Ultimately, though, this manga is really sweet and goofy. Koduka's exuberance and clumsiness make for some funny moments, and her tendency to fall prey to big emotions is pretty endearing. She cries a lot. Landlady's dedication to both supporting and teasing Koduka is incredibly charming, and probably makes some of you wish for a small, capable girlfriend. I feel the amount of people who are going to be like, oh, why can't I have her as I read this? Correct. Correct. Aoi is ultimate bestie material, and her positivity is kinda infectious. This manga is just a good goddamn time. Like, even for all those things I've talked about that are like, oh, this is going on in the background, that's happening, or this is happening, you don't think about it that long because they're constantly making progress forward, constantly learning to like love and care for each other more. There's all these sweet moments that come up, and so you're more focused on that and the growing relationship than you are on, oh, this dude's an asshole, or oh, landlady's parents seem to be absent in her life. That's not that important. What's important is lesbians. And I didn't even mention the amount of pure, unadulterated smooching and flirting in here.
Nice.
Landlady lays it on thick, never missing an opportunity to teasingly flirt with Koduka. But Koduka pays it back in kind, as she earnestly thinks Landlady is cute and amazing. The favors constraint allows for a lot of intimate moments masquerading as payment, including kissing, hand-holding, hugging, and offerings of sex, though Landlady refuses each time. Well, she refuses each time up until a point. Then she finally is like, alright. Okay. So the sweetness and the sexiness are not mutually exclusive here. And then I have to shout out the art as well, since it's pleasant and leans into expressing emotion over staying on model. Because I love all the expressions that we get to see. I love how big Koduka's expressions are. And I love even the terrible woman I was talking to you about. Mm-hmm. Even her expressions, the way she's drawn seems so, like, kind of like, this is an NPC. You only know her enough so that you can remember what her face looks like so that you can dislike her, kind of thing. And the way that she's talking seems so, oh my god, like, you can just hear her voice in your head. That's how she's drawn. And the women here in general are varied, and it's clear from the way that they're drawn that the author loves ladies. Like, there's the right amount of chub on these ladies in the right places, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes women are drawn to be, like, perfect, and then there's other times when women are drawn where you're like, oh, yeah, you've looked at a woman, and you enjoy looking at women. And I personally love how Koduka's boobs are drawn as well. As a big titty person myself, the F-cups are gorgeous, but also act like big boobs, and not in a cartoonish way. I've read plenty of hentai, I've seen plenty of big boobs, and while I do think there's some hentai artists especially that draw boobs looking very realistic, or they make the big boobs like act in, realistic ways, they're also normally balloon titties. They're also normally bigger than somebody's torso, so it's nice to see like a regular set of big boobs doing regular big boobs thing. Mm-hmm. And so Koduka, as you were talking about earlier, she tends to look bigger than she is when she wears loose-fitting clothing, because she's suffering from the boob shelf. And that's so fucking cool. And a detail that lets you know that the author really do be looking at women.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I would love to see her draw the little belly pooch that everyone loves so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like we didn't get a position to show that off as much, but Koduka does have like a little bit of one, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Women who like women everywhere are rejoicing. You've done such good work. Thank you. Ultimately, I Can't Believe I Slept With You is simplistic in its perfection. It's mostly two women trying to take care of each other and learn to cohabitate, with cameos from other cool women. The drama is low, but impactful, and the premise is pretty ridiculous, but it works. It's a story that echoes Ghibli style. It's cozy and comfortable, but it portrays reality and makes a point. The point being, find support in your community, be nice to yourself, and barring all that, be nice to lesbians.
Mm-hmm. Let's go, lesbians!
Let's go! So if you'd like to have a crazy, goofy, and heartwarming time, I Can't Believe I Slept With You is for you. You can buy it at your local bookstore or rent it from your local library. It contains homophobia, bad jobs, absent parents, longing, drinking, annoying straight people, and cute girls crying. But really, I think homophobia is the worst thing in here. That's it. That's really it.
Alright. I know my whole rating is coming up.
Yeah.
But I must ask one question that you will have to probably, delete out because it's a spoiler before I can give it.
Go off. Okay, it is time for your whole rating, so you go, just do it.
Time for my whole rating.
Yeah.
Given light of some evidence that I took, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what I want, with a touch more of realism than I wanted. Mm-hmm. Again, I really like to read a story that's going to, give me petty. Go happy ending all the way. Give me a fairy tale. Give me a romance that ends all romances. Give me a perfect queer love. Give me queer justice. When I'm reading a story, I kind of am expecting, a fantasy. No matter what kind it is. There's a killer. There's a little bit of fantasism in there. There's love, fantasy. There's action-adventure, fantasy. I want some fantastical elements because, as I'm always going to say, the world is hard. That saying, I'm still going to give this, a 9 out of 10. I'm planning to read it. I know I'm going to enjoy reading it, but there's one thing that I really wish it would do that didn't happen, and I'm disappointed. So, 9 out of 10.
Okay. You'll like it. I think you'll like
I
it a
know
lot.
I'll love it. If I'm honest, it's probably a 9.5 out of 10. But again,
She craves revenge.
I crave revenge and I crave justice. And there's something in here that I just wish happened and was that there's a little more justice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's sweet that everyone moves on and has a happy life. That's realistic. I don't want realism. I want fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I want some petty revenge.
Yeah.
I want some justice because sadly, justice as of late feels like a fantasy. So
Yeah.
I need to see people get it.
I think when you read it, you will feel better about that in a different way because
It's
of a different
still
character.
a high rating.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm letting you know. I'm just letting you know. I'm not trying to change your rating.
I'm just saying this rating is stupidly high.
Yeah, I'm not.
I have no. I have things that I loved that I gave a lower rating.
Yeah.
This has got a really high rating. So even though I'm there's one flaw, I'm counting the flaw.
Yeah, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I just think I'm trying to pump you up to.
I'm
so
not
that you enjoy
disappointed,
it.
and 9's good. You know what? Look at me. If you said this Yuri is a 2 out of 10, I'd still probably read it. There's not enough Yuri in the world. So don't worry. I'm not going to be disappointed except, by the 2.
No. I have a yuri I could tell you about that you wouldn't want to read.
I'm sure you do. You've gone through a lot.
Okay, no, it's fine.
I actually know one, the doctor one you read.
We'll talk about that another time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you'd like more from Miyahara Miyako, you can find her on Twitter at AIB_MIYY. Or read her one-shot, Unbreakable Distance, in Volume 5 of Eclair, which I believe these are... Ooh, no. Okay, Eclair's being released by Yen Press. This comic was released by 7 Seas. So, what we've been covering today has been released by 7 Seas. Eclair was released by Yen Press. And Eclair is a... it's a Yuri anthology, which is crazy they released it in English because they never release anthologies in English. But there's 5 volumes of it released in English. She's in volume 5. Read more of her work there. Everything else she's done is either in Japanese only anthologies or just haven't been released in English in any way. She also does have a seinen manga as well. That looks pretty interesting, but they haven't released that here either. So you can look for those, see if you can find any information about them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's probably somewhere scanlated. Figure it out. Want more Hole? You can check out our gay little socials, Tumblr and Bluesky, both at Hole-Chat. If you want to get deep and private with us, send us email via hole.chat.69@gmail.com. And as always, private can mean cat pictures.
Yeah, please don't send us pictures of you doing stuff. Please, please, please.
Thank you.
We just like your animal cat.
Yeah.
No more jump scares.
Thank you. We appreciate every like, share, comment, and we'd love it if you keep doing that shit. Just please keep doing it. It makes us very happy. It fills me with a lot of joy. I get excited seeing when people comment. It's honestly kind of cool. Somebody, cares enough about this to do that. So do it. Please. Thank you. Or, I don't know. Tell your dad.
Tell your
mom.
dad.
Slide our info over to the secret Fujo at your work. Whatever. Just spread the word. We'll appreciate it. That's all we've got for y'all this week. We'll be off next week. You know why. My body is trying to eat itself. So we'll be off next week. But thank you guys so much for listening. And tighten up.
Tighten up.